Hi crafty friend, it's Justine Dvorak from Stationery by Justine, where when I craft, my world stands still. Today I'm making another Roulette response or process video, as they call it. So this was an interesting week. I was a little bit stumped at first, just being real with you, and I was a little bit torn because I am on the design team for Pajama Crafter Stamps and Trinity Stamps, and they are both spin sponsors for this month. And so what's a girl to do? I've been doing a lot of beachy themed cards, and I actually was going to use this for my card this week. I'll show ya, because it could work with Florida Keys. So I just want to give a little shout out to Pajama Crafter Stamps, because I'll pop it on the screen. Right now my craft room is a disaster. I'm yeah, anyway, but this stamp set I have been using quite often, and I just made a card with it this morning. A different video went up on my channel this morning of another card with the same stamp set. So I figured I would give a little love to Trinity, since I have given a lot of love to Pajama Crafter Stamps. Not that it gets full, but anyway, I digress. This is for Roulette, and this is with the episode of Amy's Wares and her daughter, Rye. Super fun, and this is number 271. And this card, I think, will be my 11th. I have lost track at this point, so I'm very glad that the website keeps track for me. Okay, what am I using? I've made my own background, and I'm going to put some shimmer paste on that ASAP, because I need to get this on and dried. So we're going to talk about that first. I'm using a stencil from Trinity called Starstruck. This one is super fun, and I like using this one for patriotic stamps mostly, but I haven't used it for space themed. And you know, there's a lot of space happening in the Trinity world right now. So that's what we're going to be up to. And I'm going to use this shimmer relief paste from Altenew, which is just so sparkly. I love sparkles. So we're going to use it. And I'm just going to take my palette knife at an angle here and just kind of scrapey. I am going to hold my stencil pretty taut down here, since my stencil is not adhered to my grip mat down here. So we're just going to get some sparkly stars for the background going. This week's parameters were a little bit odd, like I was saying before. Really, the element that stumped me the most was key. And so I'll tell you how I am incorporating that into this card here today. But let's see, the project is going to be matchbook. So I'm making my first matchbook card ever right now with you. But like I said, I got to get this background all pasted up. Is that a thing? I don't know. But I've got to get the relief paste on there as soon as I can so it can start to dry. It really doesn't take too long to dry, but knowing me, I will probably put my finger in something and mess it up. So the sooner I can get this drying, the better. Look at that. I did not hardly use barely any of this, and I'm going to scrape the remaining back onto or into the jar. I mean, could you ask for anything better when it comes to shiny? I don't know. I will link the paste down below, but it is from Altenew. The size of this jar is just unreal. It's so big. We love that. Okay, then with my stencil, I just have to take this off really gently. Oh, I wish I could have you feel this once it dries, of course. But you can kind of see the stars have a little bit of a raised up situation going on right there. So I'm loving that. I will just give a little wipe with a baby wipe to my stencil. Nothing crazy, just so it doesn't get like cemented on there, you know. Usually I wash all of my stencils in my kitchen sink, which is a choice. But since I'm trying not to do a whole bunch of editing to this video, that is what we're going to be doing today. And then for taking this off, it's pretty stuck on. So I like to take this bottom grip mat off and then gently kind of roll off my project because I don't want to bend my project. So if it can kind of naturally get released from the sticky, that's awesome. Okay, I'm loving this. Okay, I'm gonna set this off way to the side. I'm gonna use a craft stack and we'll set that up there. Nobody touch it. Okay, and then I'll just wipe down my stamp wheel. This is very well loved and I don't really mind if a little bit of sparkles remain on there. Whatever. Life will go on, right? Okay, so for my coloring, I need to color my stamped image. Let's talk about the stamp set that I'm going to pull in. Ooh, that's all wet. Did I not grab the stamp set? Of course not. This is from the We've Come for Cake. I know that's the name of it because I think that name is really funny. At first, I thought it was We've Come for the Cake, but it is called We've Come for Cake. And I actually stamped this out in advance when I was doing some design teamwork for Trinity a little bit ago. And I had my scan and cut out to this whole image, but there are coordinating dies for all of these things. If you don't use a scan and cut, these will all be separate. So that's a choice if you'd like that choice. And then I did die cut out the moon as well with my scan and cut, and then it displaced this cloud, which is the same cloud as this one, from another set, and my scan and cut really just hacked up one of my stamped images. So I have a bonus cloud, yay me. So I will put that on to my card as well. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and color these, and I will probably speed that up with a little bit of music, and we will continue on. Okay, well that is all colored up, and if there was going to be an alien coming to my farm, I would want it to have a hot pink light. So that's that's what we are going with here. And that is fairly dry. It took me probably a half an hour to color everything. I'm fairly pleased with how that turned out. So I want my sentiment to kind of go with my pink theme with my card. Oh, by the way, I just want to mention the other parameters that were for this week. So project was a matchbook card, which I have never done, but I'm going to do in minutes here. And then the next one was the color, which needed to be park. So I have colors that you would see at a park, like green, brown, and then maybe for like a children's area, there would be something with pink. And then there needed to be a key, which I'm going to draw on my project because I don't have anything in my craft room that is key related. And then the other element was a curved and straight lines. So I have a lot of curved lines going on here. I will have a straight line. I mean, there's kind of a straight line for my ground here, but I also will have a straight line for my folded part of my matchbook style card, which I'm fairly certain I will have. Like I said, I've never done a matchbook, but we'll see. Okay, I have to use the one that says we've come for the cake, or we come for the cake, because that's hilarious. And I think I'm going to do Happy Birthday Earthling as well. Oh man, these are just so funny. I love a fun stamp set. We have come for the cake. And Happy Birthday Earthling. Can you get better than that? I don't know. Okay. So I'm going to just heat emboss these up like usual. I'm going to use my heat embossing tools that I typically grab, which are my anti-static brush. This is from Rabbit Hole Designs. And I always go like this. Whee! Why? I don't know. But I do it every single time. And if I don't, it's probably because I'm crabby and having a bad day. Okay, I'm going to stamp both of these at the same time. I found this stamp block up in my storage area for all of my old craft supplies, and I was like, yes, honey, you're coming downstairs and you're graduating to the big girl craft room. I'm pretty sure I've used both of these sentiments before, but I'm just going to still give them a little rub and make sure everything's straightish. I love the fact that Trinity has the bubble letters to cut out the sentiments. Oh, it's just chef's kiss. Okay, we're just going to keep all my ink on here. I'm using clear Versamark ink. This ink pen has been with me for so many cards. Okay, we're just going to plop it down. It doesn't need to be straight or anything because it has those coordinating dies, which I love. Don't you love a coordinating die? It's the bomb. Alrighty, and then I'll grab my white. I love a white stamped and heat embossed card. It's just so good. Glad I used the powder because look how much it stuck here. Barely any, and look at up there. It's like all over the place because I did not use the rabbit hole thing up there, and look at all of that. Ooh, we don't need any of that. I'm glad that I used that little tool then. All right, I'm going to use my heat gun, so I'll just fast forward this part of the video. Ta-da, all done. Easy as can be. Easy as pie, you might say, after watching today's Craft Roulette. Oh my goodness, it was so funny. They were talking about key lime pie. It was just really fun, per usual. Okay, we have come for the cake. I think that's the right die. And then how about Happy Birthday Earthling? Is that this one? Usually I can guess it by looking at the letters. Haha, I got it right. All right, I'm gonna just go ahead and cut that out with my Scout. Cut it out with my Scout. Actually, my Sidekick. Because it's smaller and I don't have a whole lot of room on my mess of a desk today. Okay. This is coming along. How are you doing this week? I would love to know. Let me know in the comments. This week has been a whirlwind. It feels like my first actual week of summer. If that makes any sense to anyone, I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me, but it's been an odd week. But you know, sometimes you have weeks like that, and that's okay. I think that's upside down. What? Is that even the right one? Yes. Okay. It was not upside down. You know, this low-tech craft tape sometimes really is just not it. Yeah. No shade or anything. It's just, I like things to actually stay in place when I'm putting it in position for a reason. Call me fussy. Oh, brother. I think part of the way that I'm feeling about this week is because it has rained for 7 days now, and it's just going to keep raining. I really don't think this is the right die. Let's try this one. Yeah, that's definitely it. Okay. Anyway, the whole forecast for all of next week is completely rain. And we are right now in the middle of a construction project, and it would be super cool if it would just not rain. Yeah. Until we have our siding on our house, I would love it. But you know, that is something that I can't control. So I'm just going to have to let it go. Okay. Get those cut. So much better than having to fussy cut out a sentiment. I refuse to do that. That's why if a stamp set does not come with a bubble cut die for a sentiment, I will do a straight line, like a straight edge cut, because I will not sit there and do this with the scissors. That's not me. Maybe it's you, it's not me. I will fussy cut out this whole thing. If I wanted to do that, I am so okay with that. But there's something about fussy cutting out words that I just won't do. It's a no for me, dog. Okay. Oh my. Okay, now I have to get my head wrapped around what a matchbook style card is. And I actually almost did a matchbook style card last week. I was kind of looking at one and just looking over on Pinterest. I've been trying to get my Pinterest board looking better. Right now it's looking a little rough, honestly, but that's life. Where is my paper? So apparently you can do an easel card really nicely by cutting a piece of paper in half. So that's what I'm going to do here today, if I can find my cardstock. Okay, I can't find my white cardstock, so it's going to have to be a black card base, which whatever, it's a space card anyway. Okay, so from what I know, you cut the cardstock in half. Don't mind the clunking. Okay, so we'll cut it at 4 1/4. Okay, my cat just scared me so bad. Hi, Willie. Okay. And then you are supposed to score it at, I better look up these measurements so I am reporting to you correctly. Does anyone remember when people would smoke in restaurants? I know Mary was talking about that. And I remember when I was a kid that went out in Minnesota, when I was a kid, that law passed in Minnesota that you can't smoke in restaurants anymore. And I remember so many people were talking about going over the border to Wisconsin to go smoke. And I was so confused as a kid, but it's a thing. Yeah. Okay. One thing about matchbook cards that I am a little bit puzzled at is why are we securing the bottom part? Does that make any sense? That I am a little bit confused about. So if you hear my cat drinking water, he is a thirsty old man. And yeah, that's just how it is. Okay, so according to the Google, oh, perfect. Dimensions. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to wing this because I'm getting confused at what I am seeing. I'm just going to kind of follow what Mary did anyway. So she had hers like 1 inch. So we're going to score at 1 inch. I'm going to use this side of my scoring board to get that. Cool. And that will fold up, right? And then all I need to do then is score whatever this half of this is. So precise and so helpful of me to give you. I'm going to give you measurements once this is done and folded. I'm such a visual person that I feel like I can just see this better than I can figure out the numbers. Yes. Okay. So it's going to end up looking like a book of matches, basically, if you've never seen a matchbook card. Anyway. Oh, I was going to give you the measurements. Okay. Unfolded. I scored at 1 inch, and I also scored at 6 inches. I'm so sorry. You can't even see that. I scored at 1 inch and at 6 inches. And ta-da. Ta-da, we have a card base. Alrighty. Oh, perfect. That still is not dry. What? Okay, it's just cold. It's cold because it's wet and clammy. Love that for me. Okay. Well, I'm going to cut this because I want the scene to kind of stop with the farm. So I'm going to cut the bottom part off, actually. This is looking a little bit more like a sky. This is super unorthodox of how I am going to be doing this, so hopefully you're along for the ride on the alien spaceship. I'm gluing onto the card base part. And then loving getting glue in the inside of my card. Okay, we're good. And then I'm going to put this on the top. This will be the top of my space area. Okay, good. That's still not wet. We love that for me. And I've glued it crookedly, so we're just going to snake it over. This is what happens when I don't edit the videos and I do the voiceover right as I am going along. You're going to get all the weirdness and all of the sounds. You're going to get it all. Okay, and then I'll just trim this off following the card base as my guide. It's my guide. Okay. I feel like this is coming along, right? Okay. Phew, my farm almost did not make it on here. Would it look better if I snapped and had my farm be on the flap? Oh man, decisions. I wish that you were here, crafty friend, to help me. No, I'm going to put the sentiments on the flap. Okay. Okay, I know that they said that this is not an easel card because this part gets glued. But like, why would you glue that? Unless this is supposed to be short. Whatever. This is my art. I'm making it this way. Okay. And I'm not going to pop this up because of the whole matchbook situation on the bottom. It's just going to be glued down. So I'll just position it here like so. And then we will pop up the moon, even though, wait, no, the moon's going to be farther away. So we wouldn't pop up the moon. Normally we would pop up the moon, but not today. And then we're going to put this cloud over here, just so it's not too matchy-matchy with the other one. Actually, we're going to flip it around. Whee! Okay, much better. That is a lot going on. Okay, we've come for the cake. Happy birthday, Earthling. Oh, happy birthday, Earthling has got to go first in that lineup of words. All right, I'm really going to score this so it lays down. Practically bullying it. Okay, happy birthday, Earthling. We got to pop these up. I got to have something popped up on this card. Foam is a requirement for my cards. I will definitely be bringing foam to Paperganza when I go. I am so pumped. So pumped. All right. Snip, snap. And it looks like we're going to have to get a second strip. No big deal. Let me know your favorite kind of cake down in the comments. I would love to know if you're watching all of the silliness and stuff part of this video. Let me know your favorite cake. I think my favorite would have to be... Okay, this is a little controversial. I'm actually more of an icing or a frosting kind of gal than a cake gal. I know. I used to I was like that kid that would eat the frosting and not eat the cake. Yeah. But if I had to pick a favorite cake, I would say either chocolate or chocolate caramel or lemon. I like lemon. Also, what's your favorite kind of pie? Sorry if I'm making you hungry, but pie came up a lot in the Craft Roulette episode, so that is what I'm curious about today. All right, now how in the world is the recipient going to write in this on a black style card? You might be asking me. The answer is a silver Sharpie. Happy birthday, Earthling. Or a white gel pen, which, speaking of a white gel pen, I still need to add highlights and such to some of my areas here. So I will do that. I like to do dots and lines. Oh, I have to add the key. I can't forget the key. I am really not specific or picky when it comes to my highlights. I just like to add it wherever I want, basically. And we're going to pop up or bump up the crazy in their eyes because they are cake crazy. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to use... Ooh, I have a marker that is silver. Nope, it's gold. Just kidding. I am going to make the key. And it's going to be gold. Now, this marker and I are frenemies. This marker will shoot out paint, gold paint, like it is mad at me. And some days it works really good. So I'm hoping that today it's more of a friend than an enemy. All right, let's practice my little key here. Should I just do like a little line with some dots? Is that a key? I don't know. I think that'll be the key. We're just gonna go for it. Come on, paint pen. You know you want to work. Phew. Okay, you can exhale. It did not go all over my project. And then I'm gonna add this little like 30-year-old marker and outline it to make it look like a key. This was the plan in my head. I seriously have zero clue how this pen is still functioning. This might be older than some of the students in my in my school. I know for certain it is because I remember, yeah, this is an old pen. But you know what? If it still works, who cares? All right, this completes my crazy card for tonight. Let me know what you think. This is a bit of a unedited version of card making for tonight, simply because this weekend is super, super, super busy. That's 3 supers if you were counting. And I wanted to make sure that I had my Craft Roulette card done and dusted. I will be posting this later. Don't know what day yet. Like I said, it's been a crazy week, and this weekend will be crazy as well. I am not going to adhere this bottom flap down. I don't get why you would do that. I don't know. To me, that is odd. I think that it's kind of nice that it holds it all together. Am I weird for saying that? And it also can like stand up. It can totally like stand up. I don't know. I'm not going to glue that. I know that for sure. All right. Well, that is that. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. And if you were watching all the way through, make sure to remember what I asked you to comment down below if you don't mind taking the time to do that. And subscribe for more videos. I'm going on Craft Roulette on June 27th. And I will be at Paperganza. So make sure to say hi in the chatter box when I'm on Craft Roulette if you are over there. And then make sure to say hi at Paperganza. I am so excited in July to go there. Also, if you have zero clue what Craft Roulette is, you're going to want to check it out. I am going to be posting weekly process videos of my cards from each week's parameters, but basically in a nutshell, it's a card making game show that is a weekly game show, and it is super, super fun. So you're going to want to try it out. I think the last thing I'm going to add to this card is glitter while I finish off and finish telling you what I'd like to tell you about. But one more thing I would like to tell you about is I would love to invite you to my Facebook group. I have a group called Stationery Maker Group, and it's all about sharing your cards and ideas. So if you make cards, I want to see what you're making, and you can share your makes with me over there, and it can be from your favorite card brand. It doesn't have to be one that I am part of or affiliated with. It can just be anything that you like, and I would love to see what you're making. And yes, I did make a glitter alien, because if I ever encountered an alien, I would love for the alien to have glitter and cake. All right, enough is enough. I'm getting silly in the evening here. So we'll see you next time. Bye, crafty friend.